Howdy. We're in a new place. Things are a bit wonky right now. We're Frankensteining the setup right now. There's a bit of an echo, as you already can hear, because we have nothing on the walls. As we begin, I need everyone to roll fucking initiative.
Step over the dead creature and kind of cut open like a slot in its chest to see if I can free it.
Yeah. So yeah, you do see a lot of maggots and a lot of the black ooze sort of, but as you kick it over, more does ooze out.
Okay.
Cool.
Can I see if there's anything in the bones here?
Yeah, let's
make an investigation check. Anyone who wants to, make an investigation check. You find this.
Oh shit! It looks so cool.
Maybe.
Whoa. This is a necromancy circle.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Yes, it is. Okay. No. Sorry. In one of the other spell circles, anytime it has the double moons and this square, it was the necromancy circle.
Yes, however, it also looks like a transmutation.
It does also look like a transmutation circle. No! Oh no. Oh, you guys. Oh, damn it. This looks tight as fuck, though. Oh, this is the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Looks tight as hell.
Yeah, it does.
Sorry y'all had to jump in after me. Maybe I should have backed up from the hole. I just got a little spooked. Shot it.
It's fine. It could have happened to any of us.
So, you stand above the creature triumphant. Though as you look around the room, you see all those who were not. You see many pieces of armor scattered amidst the bones, and the bindings of books torn to shreds. You see splintered wands accenting the blood-splattered walls and cloth strewn about the space. Much of the stone that lines the circumference of the room looks to be porous, much like the stone that blocked this one from the top. And the remnants of wood mingle with the bones around you. Looks to have once been more regal than all those before it, gilded and adorned with intricate carvings within. Looking at the bones, you notice a couple of things. Two of them look deformed. Their necks stretch and broken, their legs whittled into barbed spears that stump from lumpy kneecaps, and their hands missing many bones. The only remaining are the humerus bones near the clavicle. The rest of the body is odd. You see added bones, a deformed skull, and a rather wide rib cage. The rest appear to have been elvish, female by the looks of all of them, and numbered about 5. One appears to be bent in half near the ladder, vertebrae crushed and ribs punctured. However, near her head you see the stone shifted texture emanate, as if her last will was to keep the creatures within. That you found in a spell book.
This is the spell. This is the spell. Okay, I'm gonna read it out loud. Okay. Necromancers are narrow-minded, short-sighted, if you will, in their never-ending search for more power. Power is most certainly a goal of many of our kind as well. However, where we differ is in how we go about achieving it. Many necromancers have perished. In fact, most of them have since necromancy's inception long ago in the Second Age. This is in no small part due to how little finesse necromancers are so infamously known for using. Like most, the Aurelendi prefer a battle to be in our favor. However, if it isn't in our favor, we simply make it so. We do not flee, nor would we ram headfirst into slaughter as a necromancer might. This is the key differential between necromancy and soul transmutation, finesse. Our soldiers are some of the most deft and tactfully intelligent creatures upon the soils of Honduran, but even the bear struggles to catch the salmon every once in a while. This soul transmutation gouges the soul, siphoning its energy and creating a shield of raw power around the user, a bulwark of soul energy, if you will. Ooh, it is a 4th level spell! When speaking of the soul, we speak of it as that of raw energy, pure and potent, with the strength of an infinite amount of magic. This makes a soul difficult to quantify in its value, as there is no better or worse soul. The soul of a dragon is no greater than that of a human or a deer, for instance. However, this only refers to the potency of the soul, the worth of it, so to speak, not the quantity of its energy. For instance, the dragon would have a bountiful soul, a soul that could power an army for ages to come. And this is precisely why the bodies of certain beings are built to live as long as they do, just long enough to accommodate the energy of the soul. Most waste even the smallest amount of time they were given, yet we have been given so much just to suffer. Let us use their wasted potential, my sisters of the Aurelendi. Let us use their souls as rungs for our ladder, crawling from the pits of their happy, forgotten memories. Controlling this energy is nearly impossible for most. However, we are not most. We are the Aurelendi, the chosen people of Wolf, and the harbingers of the Titanic Cascade. We, the Aurelendi, with our nearly infinite wisdom and knowledge of the arcane, have toiled against the forces of Mordom and the forces of the goddess of greed. Okay. And we now bask in our triumph, in our grandest creation, soul transmutation. We now harness the power of Mordom themselves. The power of not only death rests in our hands, but also the cycles of life. With this power, one's limits are only that of those around us. With this power, all are a means to our glorious ends. Let this be your first steps to fulfilling your destiny and freeing the Aurelendi from our tortured past. Use these creations with the grace of our people against those who would see us live eternally in the mud. This is but a taste of our might. Serve well, and you shall know the taste of butter. This looks to be a 4th level spell within the previously unknown school of magic, Soul Transmutation. This scroll is unable to be used for anything other than learning and takes triple the amount of supplies and time spent to do so. Whatever. However, this is reduced to twice the amount of supplies and time if the wizard attempting to learn these spells is versed in necromancy or transmutation. Once this spell is learned, through not only the appropriate supplies and time spent, but also single daily arcana checks of increasing difficulty, you will be handed both the rules of soul transmutation and the effects of the spell. Y'all.
It makes you wonder what energy source powers all these undead things or these soul amalgamations.
Well, it makes sense if they're able to actually abuse and harness the energy of the soul and they put multiple in there together. It makes sense. The power, it's like a recycling battery. That makes sense. If they were able to use this school of magic, that's why they've lived this long.
Yeah, but from what, I don't know anything about magic, but from what you've read, it seems like it takes energy to do this. It takes energy to put these things together.
Well, what do you
They're not
think
feeling
happened?
themselves. I mean, I think
You're saying there has to be an energy source.
something.
It's their soul.
How do you feel about that commentary on necromancers, Vivian?
Well, I honestly haven't. I've only met one other necromancer.
Uh-huh.
Were they bullheadish?
Reckless.
I wouldn't say reckless. We kind of barged in on his home. Felt something wrong, attacked him.
But would you say that you and him are without finesse?
I'd say I'm not really one to bullheadedly rush into combat. I think that's very obvious.
Sure.
If there's any social rules of being a necromancer, I don't know them.
I climb up the ladder.
Okay. Come with the ladder. You took some pretty. I'm gonna follow.
I'll follow behind.
You took some pretty serious blows.
Yep, and I'm just gonna kind of like lie on the stone.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would like to take a knuckle bone from one of the wizards
Okay.
and just tuck it away.
Mage armor.
I will do the same.
Yeah, I think we could just kind of rest a bit
That sounds
right
fun.
here.
Kind of got up, but
Yeah, well, I just kind of went down.
That's fine. I can use the time to try and regain some of my own energy. It might be helpful to be able to cast polymorph more than once.
well, I'm not gonna argue.
So you guys take a rest. It is now 10 a.m. What would you guys like to do?
Make our way towards the temple.
The large temple, is that the one we went to? before?
Yeah,
The one directly in front of it.
directly in front. Yeah, because we went in and had like the 2 doors and one door up.
Yeah. You make your way to the gargantuan temple at the back of the space, walking through the figures carved into the likeness of Erlendai holding the temple aloft, and past all of the statues of their likeness as well. You eventually make your way to the staircase leading through the stone protrusions to the massive doorway above and to one of the smaller doorways on either side. Which one are you going into, the right or the left?
I say left.
The left
The one
door.
where we're absolutely sure there's something there.
We weren't absolutely sure there was anything anywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
You can try to listen again if you want.
give me a moment. I'm gonna take a step back and call down a story.
The door to the left is already slightly cracked, isn't it?
Right.
So these things, I mean, obviously, I'm sure they can open doors. I don't know. But I would be hesitant if we tried to go into the door on the right, and then something came out of the left.
Right.
So
It's
we
also
go into the left.
be quieter to just open a door rather than try to get a door open.
Yes, I agree with that.
Right.
Oh,
Both doors are slightly ajar, by the way.
Oh, well,
they
I guess it
before?
doesn't fucking matter.
okay. Well, let's go left.
So you guys are going left.
I will take the lead.
So it's you being first.
You two stay close behind.
Who's going second?
Right. All the rear.
You enter. The door is slightly ajar and littered with many deep gouges upon its surface. You look inside to find what looks to be a living quarters underneath the stairs. A small hall impeding your view to the rest of the room, though you see a few bunk beds lining the walls with the remnants of fine white cloth hanging from the beds. You smell the scent of degrading linen and bones. In the small hall between the bunks, you see the chests at their feet and incense holders haphazardly placed between them along the robes of interesting make. You also begin to hear noises coming from deeper into the space. Strange noises that you can't quite make out.
New noises?
Yes.
I don't like news.
The robes don't seem to have degraded much at all. Wispy strands of thick cloth, almost like a spider's web made to form a robe.
Is it like a spider's web?
The robe, other than its fabric, which in and of itself gives an intriguing design, is rather plain. A tight neckline and a thicker hem that goes down to the floor. Though it looks almost like it's blowing away, strands of it floating off of it and clinging to you as you examine them. You begin to hear a shuffling and clinking coming from within the quarters. Like,
We are sneaking.
I'm taking that same.
Side note, also, my mask is off. It has been off this whole time.
A strange pitter
Just
patter
gonna throw that out there.
and the clinking of what could be wood upon stone. The sound is actually quite loud. You hear metal against wood, wood against stone, and what sound like small feet shuffling and maneuvering across stone. The room continues past the small hall, but opens up to the right to the room proper just ahead of you. The room continuing for about 50 more feet ahead at the end of the hall. You reach the end of the short hall, the sound growing in intensity. Peeking around, you see a mountain of bones. The entire room's confines filled to the brim with them and spilling off the sides of it. A towering sight of about 30 feet tall and about 200 feet wide of bones. Bits and pieces of people long dead and Clink. His scrapped body laying upon the side of the bones, limp and lifeless. As you look sorrowfully at Clink's corpse, you see horrific, small, chunky, and raw fleshy creatures skittering about on 8 legs. They look to be a sick amalgamation of a spider and a small hairless dog. Coarse and thick black hairs sparsely protrude from their backs and their mouths the shape of leeches, lined with razor-sharp teeth in concentric circles going back to a tiny hole at the back of their meaty and swollen gum-filled mouths. Their eyes looked glazed over, all 7 of them, large and clouded and leaking pus. Their skin is folded and flaky, piling at their short necks. The creatures stand a mere 2 feet from the ground and are the size of the small dogs which they look to be crafted out of. They appear to be gnawing upon the bones and piling those on the fringes onto the pile. You see at the other end of the room, past the mountain of bones that is cascading upon the rows upon rows of bunk beds, a humanoid creature, 8 legs sprouting from their emaciated and tortured form from their back, standing motionless and looking at the bones.
I don't want
This appears where all the people of the city have gone to.
Yeah, they clean up after themselves.
Okay, so he hasn't noticed us yet.
Well, I suppose that's what that roll was.
Move back.
No.
Hmm.
Okay, any of you have noticed too.
Cool.
I'm just gonna link our minds. Maybe we should move back a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Seems very dangerous.
Stall, step back. Yeah.
They don't seem to see you
Nice.
or hear you.
Nice.
But you do hear like a coming from the other creatures.
Ew.
And so, okay, when we walked through, that was the only other room, and that was the end of the.
That you saw?
We didn't see any other doors in that room. Mm-hmm. We saw whatever. Well,
There's his body.
yeah, I didn't think that they were intelligent enough to sweep up. Do you think it was them that brought it back here? Yeah.
Must have been those little creatures. That might be their job. I mean, I don't know.
But why?
Well, if they were designed for a reason, then collecting bones, I mean, it's just necromancy and transmutation. Don't you guys like really love bones?
Yes.
So maybe it was made to collect bones. That's its function.
I mean, in that case, don't you think the leg in that first little tower that we went, where
You see?
don't make passive noises. Jesus.
Are those the dog things?
They can see, huh?
They have
They have
eyes.
7 eyes.
Invisibility.
There's still that other creature in there. Why do we want to be in there?
Yeah, we can probably move out of this room, right?
Well, it's guarding a door, right?
No.
Oh, this is the end. This is
Mhm.
oh,
Unless you really want Clink's body.
no, that makes no sense.
Let's let him answer.
Idiot. We can talk about this out there. Let's go.
So you guys are leaving.
Yes, sneakily.
Say I take
Can I look
that
through
one.
this? No, I can do anything about it.
What are you doing? What are you
No,
doing?
It's gonna be loud. I don't want to do it.
Okay. So you guys sneak out through the door.
Mm.
You're now back out the temple proper.
Do you think there really is no end to the disgusting things that the disgusting forms these creatures come in?
It made sense when we were on the other side of the city and we couldn't get to where he was, but now the opportunity has presented itself.
What sentimental value do you have about Clink's body when we have his soul in my bag? It's a body. We can make him.
You
a
don't
new
know if
one.
that's a soul. You don't know if you can bring him back.
It is called. No, I don't. But
No.
his body won't do anything either.
At least we give him proper ceremony if he doesn't.
What does a ceremony do? His soul goes down into the river anyway. What is it other than sentimental value to make people up here feel good about the people that they've lost down there?
What is it other than sentimental value that you follow around Hector around like a puppy dog?
You think it's sentimental that I follow Hector around? You think it's sentiment that brings me here? And you're comparing that to getting Clink's lifeless metal body?
It's the same peace of mind, Vivian.
No, it's not peace of mind. Hector is a living person. Clink died. Hector is a living person that can still be saved. We all messed up. And because of that, Clink died.
No, yeah,
If we all mess up again, Hector dies too.
No, yeah, Hector's gets saved, and that's your peace of mind. We bury Clink, that's my peace of mind.
What does his... Saving a living person and burying metal are not the same things. We have his soul. And if this is not if we can't bring him back, the Maxim is hunting for it anyway. We can put this in a lead box and we can bury that. Does that make you feel better? Instead of going in there and killing ourselves over metal?
Wait. When I help souls, it's not always for them. It's for the people they leave behind. Unfortunately, Clink was taken from us and we were left behind. It's not outrageous for Nasu to feel that he needs this. That's not outrageous. That desire to give him a ceremony is completely just, and under normal circumstances it would be held in high regard. I don't want things to get twisted. I don't want Nasu to think that how you feel is wrong.
Also, really appreciate your confidence in our prowess. There's only one thing in there. We've killed how many so far?
We don't know any.
There were 8 things.
One thing almost killed you yesterday, and it was only because we were there that you lived. And you want to go and engage in another one. And we don't know what is in these other doors that are open. Why are you trying to be so reckless? We can either bring him back, or we can bury what held his soul. Otherwise, you can lug around a piece of metal here, where we need speed. And what are you going to do, bury him here? What a horrific place to put him to rest. We either save him and he comes back, or we can bury his soul. But that body in there puts all of us at risk when we already have a piece of him.
Fine. But if he doesn't come back, it's on your head.
If he doesn't come back, I know it's on my head.
Good.
And we can find a lead box, and you can give him a proper burial, and I'll go screw off somewhere because his death is on me, I know.
Okay. Time to explain how this door looks.
Oh, great.
So where are you guys going?
To the right? No?
When we were inside, did we see like something that could have led to the other door?
Possibly. They both go in the same direction. You don't see why it wouldn't connect to the same space.
Yeah.
It looked pretty large. To house the bodies of this entire city. Or most of them, at least.
Shit, what are they doing with it? There's another door.
Yeah, do you think it leads anywhere different?
The one on the right?
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, we can check though.
I don't know. There might be some other, stuff in that area beforehand. But
There was, those chests in front of the bed, but I'm afraid of alerting them to our presence.
Well, the only other option is big door up front.
Which is closed?
Up top, yeah. Up the stairs. The one with the 2 profiles of the unhinged jaw of Errol and I shooting flame out their mouths at the door.
On the other
Right.
side of it.
Yeah. How invited.
Okay, so you guys going up?
Yeah.
Yes, let us inspect the door.
Handle my blade.
Okay.
Now it's not good.
So, you see now, as you walk up the long steps to the large door at the back of this massive temple, the very large stone door. Its perimeter accented by massive dark wooden planks that accent the gray marbled stone body of the door. Carved into the door, you see the profiles of two nude Irelandish women. On either side of the door, pushing their right hands into each other at the center of the door, their left pushed up to their sternum, much like the others you saw, with eyes replaced with large rubies socketed within their profiles. Behind the Ireland eye, you see an intricate web-like design arcing upon the stone. You see no handles or riddles upon the door. You see a large hole that has been blasted into the bottom of it. Stones scattered within and outside. However, as you step forward, Vivian steps upon the upper reaches of the stairs, the stone crumbling underneath her feet as she does so. As soon as your right foot touches the top step, you all watch as the eyes of the women depicted above glow a deep red.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
The rubies burning bright and filled with an arcane fire. The stone shifts upon the door, the hands unclasped at the center of the door, and the left hand pushes further into the bloom, and the door begins to open steadily.
It's drow shit, do you think? Oh, it's probably just anybody's.
They already went up.
Guys, it's good, it's finally here. my dark elvenness finally helped us. Sorry, I'm so excited.
We don't know yet.
It's time. No, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Okay. Oh shit. Oh shit. Sorry, I'm so excited.
The door.
How loud?
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to see if I hear any like scattering under.
Okay, going in. Go in. Go in.
Go through the
Stealthily?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a stealth check, all of you.
Oh god, this is funking up my flow. Okay.
My stealth check.
What'd you roll there, Nasi?
13.
13.
27.
14.
I fucking hate you, dude. Okay.
Why? I'm
Roll
confused.
a 4. Okay. So you're as they run out, you all slink behind the door and freeze. You hear against the stone,
God, I hate spiders.
and you hear the single one that you saw.
Oh my god, now it's right here, isn't it?
And they stop. The other small, plump spider dog things, you hear and run back down. You do not hear the same for the other one.
What do we see? Oh yeah, all mine link us.
Should we like toss something? Maybe the doors will close. I'm worried about having this thing in here with us.
It's not in, it's right outside.
Oh, it's right outside?
You guys ran through the hole and behind the door.
Cool.
Maybe we just deal with that later.
Okay.
I don't have any ideas now, but it's not a problem right now.
Okay.
What do I see?
So, you find yourself upon a flat surface of finely carved stone and looking down a moderately sized stair that leads into the interior of a massive rotunda. The stairs lead down to the edge of the floor of this cylindrical space, and that is what you see from where you are.
I guess the only way to go is in.
Right.
Indeed.
Are we still looking for clues?
The hole blasted in the door is a pretty good clue.
If you say so. I guess I'll go first.
I'll follow behind.
Okay. Like I said, the stairs lead down to this rotunda. Open air on either side of you to a point. And at the center of this tall and beautiful white stone room is a gorgeous pine green and white depiction of Elvis figures swimming in an abstract art style, the white silhouettes flowing within the pine green stone. The walls of the room are full of detail. Large pillars, thicker than those of the temple outside, push out of the stone with deep ridges within their form. And between these pillars that are interspersed at the edge of the room, you see tower-like statues of stoic Irelandish women, depicted further into the stone and pushing out of it torso first, leaning over at the center of the room slightly, their heads pushing past the boundaries of the pillars. The area is lit strangely, as if by the moon outside, and as you look up to the ceiling, you see web-like thick strands of clear crystal stretching from end to end and branching off into thicker strands, creating multiple layers of massive web-like designs. And above all the crystal, you see a bright luminescent light shining into the space, a white light reminiscent of the moon that reflects and refracts through all of the crystal and lighting the room in a moon-like light. The room is very large, the space in the center no less than 1,000 square feet, and the pillars stretching to a lip just before the web-like designs, about 60 feet before the ceiling contracts and continues through the crystal designs an unknown distance. Amidst the intricate pillars and statues, you see 3 large archways as well, all of them with extravagant cloud-like designs carved upon their edges in the shape of soft half diamonds and stretching about 10 feet up from the ground to their vertices. You see only one archway directly in front of you from the stairs, one to the left and one to the right. The one in front of you is the only one that looks different than the rest, a bit taller of an opening and a bit wider, with carved depictions of large spiders sculpted upon the clouds, crawling upon their form within the stone. This also appears to be the only archway lit past its boundary. The others look pitch black, entirely unlit.
Do you think it's like a choice or something?
No, I wouldn't guess so.
There's no dust in here, right?
There's some.
Yeah.
Can we see any footprints?
Make an
Can I-
investigation check.
Is that not a survival check?
Survival check, if
Okay.
you would. Actually, survival. Yeah, that'd be survival.
No.
Sorry about it.
21.
9.
Well, 13.
Okay, so you do see some. You do see some footprints.
Mm-hmm.
They look to go to the left.
Oh, traps. Traps.
Okay.
And it goes like around the middle.
With a 21, you'd also see smaller footprints. That okay?
Yep.
Grinches.
Right.
Little cat feet. He's been here this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course he has been.
Only one set of humanoid footprints?
No, you see 2 sets.
Okay.
And there's no writing on these
So,
arches.
So you guys go to the left.
Mm-hmm. Don't look like that. Don't look like that.
Sounds good. You walk down the leftmost path from the rotunda. Any light escapes the place entirely. The halls seem smaller here, more constrictive, less decorative, and more utilitarian, much like the shifting of the districts down below. You see a room to the left as you continue down. You begin to get a bit of a headache as you approach it. Slight ringing in your ears begins to manifest. Looking into the room, you see small embers burning upon the wall and almost carbonized stone upon the walls.
What the fuck was he fighting?
Nothing appears to be left but the remnants of destruction.
What the fuck?
You see another room a bit further down the hall to the right. And as you look in, you also see another, also to the right down the hall. All of them utterly and completely annihilated. Someone didn't want anything in these rooms to be discovered.
what do you think Hector's covering its tracks for?
I have no idea why Hector's even here. There can be many reasons. It can be research on soul transmutation. It depends depends on what kind of mood Hector is in, I suppose.
This is
Could worship Loath.
That would be quite the twist.
This is all starting to get really wicked.
Well, we're already this far.
It just
This
keeps
Hector
going.
person is a nice guy, right?
Vivian.
Yes. He is.
Well, then let's hope whatever he's doing for good. Huh?
Okay. So you walk to the end of the hall, seeing down in the darkness another doorway. The doorway looks small and crumbled at the edges, crushed even, like a blast wave destroyed it. An attempt to cave in this entrance as well, it seems, though it appears as if it were unsuccessful. You approach the room, seeing rubble scattered across the floor, the remnants of furnishings, a desk at the back, and a long disintegrated painting clinging in half-broken frames. Step over the rubble and see the desk more clearly, blown to the side and shattered to bits. You stare where it most likely sat previously, a hatch resting there, opened. Looking down, you see a spiral stair leading further into the depths of the pillar.
And that was the only path.
Is there anything in the desk?
No, it's completely blown apart.
Just blown apart.
You want to go down?
Yep.
Good.
Down the rabbit hole.
You descend into the depths, trailing your hands gently upon the narrow stone corridors leading downward for quite some time. The stone is gouged in many places, littered with them even, as if the stone were grated like cheese. Along with the gouges, you see punctures and scorches in the stone. Bits of the wall and ceiling lay upon the stairs. Massive chunks of many of the steps also look to have fallen to bits, creating pocks in the stairs themselves, a hazard. And as Eupheme is unable to see, he trips multiple times, bracing on the slick stone. You feel algae as you do so.
At a certain point.
Nope,
Okay.
you're doing it.
Okay, cool.
Not too long after you enter, you see the stairs trail off into a small hall ahead. You step foot upon the flat stone, now seeing a moderately sized doorway not 10 feet in front of you. Do you head towards it?
Can we?
Is it open?
It's a doorway. It's not a
Doorway,
door.
okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Head towards it.
Yeah.
You walk into a damp, stone circular room, hearing the steady boop of water upon stone and thick drops of water upon shallow pools in the darkness. The ceilings are only about 8 feet tall here, and the walls show no signs of any decoration, just mold and fungus growing from the walls and hanging slightly from the ceiling. The space is about 600 feet in circumference and rather empty. You see, encased in the algae and fungus of the space, candelabras upon the walls.
Oh, Phantom of the Opera vibes.
The floor is sloped slightly towards the center, leading to a greasy and slick grate with pools of water trapped near lips at its edges. You also see shards of bones upon the ground, not full bones, but tiny fragments, and many of them like sand. As you get further in, you notice 4 small halls branching off from the circular space. 2 to the diagonal, 1 to the left, and 1 to the right. In between these 4 doors, at the far wall, you see the remnants of a desk, possibly. Reception, as it is turned to face the room. Stone and make, nothing of anything else could have survived in this damp area. Where are you guys going?
Going around the grate? Can I go to that desk?
Same.
The grate is at the center, like it's supposed to funnel water. From.
Yeah, but I'm nervous that it's a trap, so I'd like to
So you go around the grate, you go to the desk. What are you doing?
investigating.
I'm going to tell you right now, you look at it,
Oh, cool.
you see nothing.
Cool.
Everything else that wasn't stone disintegrated in this moist atmosphere.
Can I just check out the room then?
Investigation check.
Okay.
You see some tracks. So the tracks seem to go straight ahead behind the desk.
Oh, no way.
Is there any space on the wall that looks like not as algified or as moist as the other parts.
Investigation check, that would be.
My 23 wouldn't see any part of that area?
I would have told you.
Well, I find that to be stinky of you. Gotta roll higher die, but
Yeah. It's a 13.
Okay. You don't see anything on the wall.
I helped Vivian.
I will. Okay. So I saw some tracks. Is it the same 2 humanoid sets, 1 cat set that I saw? Yeah. Okay.
oh shit, your survival checks, dude! They're saving our asses right now.
I saw the same tracks and they led up to right here
To the
To
wall.
the desk.
to the wall, facing the wall.
My hand on it? Okay, so it's not an illusion.
1 hour later.
Let me try to dispel magic on this wall. If it doesn't work, we'll investigate the halls. Does that sound okay?
Sure. I think that's the way
So
to
we're
go.
just not gonna stone shape it at all?
I am nervous that it might mess up any magical mechanism.
If you
Like the
dispel-
safes that we saw.
If you dispel, it's the same thing.
Nasu, you don't know anything about magic.
Yes, but this is all we have to go off of.
No, there are many halls around us.
But he went he went through here.
But he's been here before.
He's also a divination wizard, right? Is that what you guys told me?
Yes.
You can
Okay, well,
probably
if we
see
find
through whatever
nothing
it
in
is.
these halls, then
Let me
we've
try
lost
and
it.
dispel
That's
magic.
it.
If we find anything in the halls, then that's great. If we don't, I'll stone shape it. But like the safe that would have burnt up any of the other items that we found, it might be worthwhile to try and do it the right way before we try and force our way in.
Alright.
It would be worse off destroying the mechanism and not being able to get in at all. And I'm going to put my hand on the wall, and I'm going to cast Dispel Magic. And it's gonna work.
Okay, so you cast a spell magic, roll a d20.
Plus my Arcana, yeah?
No. It's
Intelligence.
It's
Spellcasting, yeah.
Spellcasting, okay.
20. Dirty. Not dirty. Dirty 20. Sorry, dirty. The dirty 20.
So you-
It's the DC is 10 plus the spells level.
You don't know if you did anything, just because you don't know if you dispelled it or not.
Well, I think I should know that. Well, fuck.
Because there was no effect that you could see. So
Yes.
if you dispelled it, you're just gonna have to see it or not.
Okay.
Push on it.
I push on it. I push on the door.
Oh yeah, that's
Did it work?
I don't know if it worked. If it was magical, that should have worked. But I don't know what the effect is, so I don't know to test whether or not it worked.
Yeah, hopefully if it was a magical door and you dispelled it, or a magical wall that is magically a door, now it's just a wall.
Vivian, can you think of any spell that Hector has that would like have got him past this wall?
No, he knows arcane lock, but that only works on actual doors. He knows stone shape. I can't find any evidence of it here, but that doesn't mean that it's not there. The last time we saw it, it was almost imperceptible. It was luck that we saw the last one.
Eventually.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stone shape it.
okay. You try and stone shape it. Remove the spell slot.
Great.
It is more than 5 feet thick,
God damn,
and it does nothing.
stone shaping it didn't work. It's thicker than 5 feet. If there's a passage on the other way, I can't get through to it.
I heard the thing Nasu heard.
Yeah, it came. It was down at the end of the hall. On the top, on the left one now, not the right. They might converge.
So I dispelled any magic that could have gotten us through this doorway, and now we're trapped down here with the creature. Excellent stuff.
Wait,
We're not trapped.
what are you talking about?
I dispelled any magic.
Oh.
It's more than 5 feet deep.
Oh, So you didn't get rid of a trap. You
No,
just
it's-
got rid
it's
of
just
the
rock
way
now.
in.
Yeah.
Oh. Brilliant.
Nasu, you were the one telling me to stone shape or do any other spell
Mhm.
that I had. I was doing.
I've
what
also
was
been the one that's been
available.
telling you you're a bit paranoid this whole time.
And you were the one saying that there was no other reasonable thing to do other than stand where he stood and try and figure it out. I did that. I'm not blaming you, but I could do without the condescension because I took a gamble and it didn't pay off. Now, if you'd like to find what other magical mechanism there was that did exist that you said that didn't in order to open a door that won't open anymore, you might as well do so now. Just to prove a point.
I have an idea. Neither of you are gonna like it, but it very well might get results.
Okay, what is it?
I'll reach into my bag and I'll pull out one of the jars of black powder. I have 3 of these. We can also at least possibly blast it until it's 5 feet thick or less.
I think it would be better to investigate the other hallways first, just to see if there's anything else we
Yeah,
can do.
there could be some sort of mechanical switch or something. I don't know.
I agree to that, yeah.
If it was magical.
Wholeheartedly.
The magic could have been something Hector did. You could have disabled a trap or something. I don't know.
You are unendingly optimistic, and I do appreciate it, but in all likelihoods, I might have just dropped us out of the one place we needed to go. But we'll see.
Right.
I'm never gonna use dispel magic ever again.
So we split up. And one goes, no, I'm kidding.
So you just want to go bottom left.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone's confused.
You enter into a hall that curves rather swiftly to the left. You see very few markings upon these walls, and you smell nothing but the damp stone and fungus that grows all around you. You progress down the hall, rearing the curve, looking around it, you see a grand archway, reminiscent of those you saw above, though it looks to have been destroyed a long time ago. You step closer and see the destruction of the door evident all around you. Massive bits of stone, hunks of the door scattered into the space, markings seen carved into the stone, though incredibly difficult to decipher in its current state. Looking into the room, it is extremely large. A domish shape that tapers off near the entrance, gathering in size as it progresses deeper inwards. The height of the ceiling and the width of the room increases as you push further in. Still unable to see exactly what lays ahead, seeing only the finely crafted tile under your feet covered in algae and slime. A stark contrast to the rough stone of the rest of the decrepit place. However, after about 100 or so feet in, you see a flight of about 4 steps leading to a raised 1,000-square-foot area of stone tile. At either corner of the space, you see massive statues of Lolth stretching at least 60 feet into the air, holding the space aloft with her 6 humanoid arms and doing something strange with her front humanoid limbs, as if casting a spell. Her face looks stoic, which is odd for her. You see this repeat in each corner, though some of them are missing the entire front portion, carved away and destroyed. Seeing this, you look now to the raised area. You see a strange, deep red diamond, the size of a dragon's head, sitting at the center, with streaks of red reminiscent of blood in water. Cracked and partially shattered, you see shattered bits of the same crystal you saw creating above the rotunda, strangely strewn upon the place. And the last thing you notice as you sift through it all is a massive sigil of transmutation carved into the tile beneath you, its form stretching upon the entirety of the 1,000-square-foot raised space. Above you, you notice cracks of that same crystal webbing, as if the diamond fell through something.
It's still dark. Yes.
It is still pitch black.
I will shoot. Do you want light?
I prefer it. Yes.
I'll shoot off some dancing lights.
So you see all that
120-foot range,
illuminates the statues of Lilith all around you. You see her making different shapes. You see the crystals now stemming from her hands. They look to have once connected with each other above, though the crystal is long shattered.
Can I go up and inspect the crystal?
Which one? The diamond or the crystal?
Okay, wait, hold on. There was the diamond in
The diamond, the shape, and the
Yeah.
size of a dragon's
Yeah.
head that is like cracked.
that was
and
cracked and
shattered.
shattered,
Mhm.
and then there was the crystal that fell through.
No. There was the crystal the crystal webbing that was spanning the entire ceiling of the rotunda. The same type of crystal looks to have been shooting from Lilith's fingertips and connecting with the other statues.
Uh huh.
You want to inspect that?
No, sorry, I want to inspect the diamond.
Inspect the
Whatever you
diamond.
say. I'll inspect the
Investigation
other
check.
one.
Investigation check. Looks like a diamond in make. The cleavages look the same. You
Yeah. How hard is it?
and it feels extremely hard, which means that falling from any height really wouldn't do much to something so strong. And you've never seen a diamond that looks like this. It looks as if blood truly was injected into the stone. But whatever cracked it certainly wasn't the fall.
Okay. There's nothing distinct about its crack or like any point of origin that I can make about what did it.
No, with that investigation check.
Um, does it seem like any of the pieces that have fallen off might be valuable because it's the diamond?
You think that it's a diamond? It looks like it was just cracked down the center and shattered throughout. You could try to get a piece of it off.
There's no like pieces like on the ground.
No, it looks like it just
Split.
and then fell on
Are
the
there
stone.
any
There's a crater in the stone, by the way.
Oh, okay. So it's not like it was just like set in there. It's
No.
like,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Well, it doesn't seem to be much anything else of interest here. We can try the other hallways.
Yeah. Let's keep moving.
Okay, so you guys walk back?
Yep.
Walk back to the circular room.
Diagonal left now.
Yeah.
Going diagonal left.
Diagonally.
You walk again to the diagonal left. You push down the hall, hearing now a cracking of metal against stone, like a hammer crashing down upon the mountain. The high-pitched crack rings throughout the halls and echoes down behind you. You eventually see two doorways carved into either side of the path. Looking into the doorway to your right, you see a room of charred stone and the remnants of a skeleton hanging from a rope, seemingly left untouched. You see a few empty stone bookshelves and the ever-burning arcane embers upon their stone. The skeleton and the rope look to be untouched by time, left to swing in perpetuity.
What the fuck?
Is this the end?
There's
No,
another doorway.
This is just one of the doorways you guys are in here.
Okay, wait. So when we went down the
Diagonal left.
diagonal left,
You guys continued for a bit, and then you saw a doorway on the right, and then a bit further, a doorway on the left.
okay,
But you guys only have 120 feet of dark vision at the most.
right. And to get to this room, it was just straight into it. Okay, all right.
Can I investigate
Right.
whether or not this, like, is this Alendai? Is this a man? Is this a woman? Obviously, they died by hanging.
Medicine check. Sure.
Let's roll my crystal dice.
I'll look around the room.
Investigation check.
Oh.
Can I help you, Fim? Look.
Yeah. Okay. So you got advantage.
14.
14 looks like a woman.
Alendai.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Natural one?
You do find something.
Yes.
Yay!
This is what you find.
Don't look at it. I am so good.
I can't do it anymore. I see Truxie every time I close my eyes. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Truxie. But the worst part is, I can't tell if I'm actually seeing her. There's so much more we do not know about the soul. Perhaps a fragment of her clung to me. Perhaps she cries out for me to help her. She said goodbye to me. She said goodbye to me. She said goodbye to me. I watched her soul be devoured. I just sat there and looked at her life fade into darkness. We have done something that cannot be reversed. These creatures, these people, these fucking people will haunt me forever. Their souls lost, gone, never to be recovered, never to swim to their friends in the river of boredom, never to laugh again, never to cry again, never, not in this life, as a goblin, not in the next as a blade of grass. They are lost, for we have thrown away the compass. They wander. I made them wander. I'm a monster. They're drifting all alone, eaten by our greed, eaten by our spite and our unyielding hatred. But never once did I stop to notice that Truxie was not at fault for our place in the world. It is not those that suffer at our hands. It is not those that suffer at our hands for which we suffer. No, they sit in their castles, free from worry, not chained in the unending oblivion we created, not trapped in the never-ending torment of nothingness with split consciousness and disassociated forevermore. Consciousness, yeah, and dissociated forevermore. We've become so much worse than we sought to take revenge upon, and I will never be forgiven for my part in it, nor should I. I would rather live as the worms that we could have been. Oh my God! I would rather live as the worms that we could have been than even die as the abomination I have become. My soul is not worthy of swimming within the river. I pray for my soul. I pray for it to be strung out and left to dry within the darkest pits of the places beyond. I have no control over this, but for now, I can kill myself. Goodbye.
That's heavy. You think that's one of these guys?
I think it's this person.
What do you mean by it? What do you say? That the soul never reincarnate or something?
Well, maybe this was the place where they changed them.
Those creatures we saw outside, they never get to die until
Hmm.
they're killed. So they're never allowed to rejoin their brethren.
Again, it's odd, by the way, that the rope is untouched
Yeah.
and that paper survived.
This room is like just as like
Oh yeah,
yeah.
burnt, charred,
Mm-hmm.
destroyed,
Mm-hmm.
except for the rope and the skeleton and that paper.
Might
Or
be some kind of.
the fact that this paper lasted is a thing too, right?
It might have been some kind of warning or.
Legacy.
Yes, I suppose that's a word you could use. Same thing with the journal that we saw before. Something to stand the test of time to prove that not everybody was okay with what others were doing.
They did this to goblins? Did I read that correctly?
I don't know. When you read that, it just sounded kind of like hyperbole. You know, for dramatic effect.
Never, right? Their souls lost, gone, never to be recovered, never to swim with their friends in the river of boredom, never to laugh again, never to cry again, never. Not in this life as a goblin, not in the next as a blade of grass.
I
I don't know.
don't know.
I'm sure they experimented on other species before they started using their own.
That's awful. Don't they know that we're all the same?
Well, some of the other pages we read talked about, I mean, the Irelandai still viewed themselves as superior over humans, but not as aggressively as the High Elves.
Even if that's true, it's only true for a moment,
Exactly.
albeit a longer moment with the elves.
May I see that?
Sure.
I'm gonna copy it down into my journal.
It's everything we read about prior to this happening. All the Irelanders seem so convicted about it being such a turning point for them, and everything we've read about, well, after it happened, everyone seems
Sell the idea of the creatures we saw down there. It's not like they drew pictures of it and disseminated that into the crowd, saying, "Look at what you can become." It was a trap, or at least it was meant to be some form of forced evolution that failed miserably.
Obviously, they were deceived
Yes.
by a power far greater than theirs.
yeah.
It's not their fault.
Do you think
but
it was divine? Or exclusively?
exclusively? I mean, if it's just a bit divine, that's a heavy hand on the scales, don't you think?
Of course. I just mean that those who were taken and turned and those who were allowed to live. It's not like the entire population was turned into these creatures. It's not like the entire population was shaped for this deity. They were carrying out a will, so to speak, but they believed it.
They were poisoned, obviously.
You think the whole population would have been turned if things didn't go to shit?
No, I think that if the whole I don't think the whole population could have been turned. Like we were saying earlier with the soul transmutation, it's not like you can just shape people's souls and sew up a new bag for them and shove all the souls inside. That's not how it works. There is an exchange that has to happen.
Yeah, yes.
Maybe they used goblin souls to do it. Who knows?
I don't think we can speculate, really. It seems to be a little bit more complex.
I don't know if I want to understand exactly what happened. I just know that it was a gross corruption. And with this loath around all the time, I mean, it was divine in at least some sense. Whether that's a majority or not is kind of irrelevant.
The metal upon stone begins again. Across the hall.
Across the hall.
It is loud.
In the other
Wait,
room.
wait, down the left? Yeah.
Well, this is the one who wasn't gracious enough to kill him themselves.
Does it sound like stone is being destroyed?
So,
Do you think that whatever that metal thing, do you think if it's a creature and if it obviously wants to kill us, which it probably will, do you think we can all try and lead it towards the door? The stone way? In the center? Force it to break it for us?
If I like the idea, sure.
I think we should see what we're working with.
Okay.
All right.
so you guys go into the
Words
door.
come to words. I can polymorph it. We can bring it into that room and I can dismiss it. polymorph one of you into a mole.
Don't moles dig?
But through stone?
I don't.
Yeah,
Never
not
asked
through
one.
stone.
Through earth, usually. Dirt.
Yeah.
Does anything dig through stone?
Not anything that I can change you into.
You peer into the room left of the hall. Darkness enveloping it all. Though you do see 2 large stone tables cracked in half at the center. And you see more remnants of bookshelves lining the space with podiums and lecterns strewn about the space upon raised areas of stone. However, as you sit there, you hear the loud ping, pounding of stone deeper into the room. You peer deeper in, walking carefully as you do so. As you get to the back, or near the back of the room, you see a humongous figure, slightly hunched, standing about 15 feet tall, almost touching the ceiling. Their skin is a deep purple, large veins throbbing just underneath their skin, stretched upon strange gangly limbs, each arm about 8 feet long and wrapped in lean muscle that twitches and tenses every once in a while. Their hands are adorned with 4 thick claw-like fingers capped with sharp 6-inch long nails. The hand grips a massive silver sledgehammer, Lolth's form carved into the face of the silver hammer. The being's legs are long as well, again about 8 to 9 feet tall, though they bend backwards at the knee with strange cloven hooves attached to them. The strangest thing you see, though, is the mass of viscous fluid dripping from just above its groin, seemingly stemming from its torso and streaming down its body.
Gross. Where is it looking at? What is it hitting?
You see a 20-foot tall and 10-foot wide hole that is currently being dug out by the creature. You hear
How far in is he?
it's about 20 feet deep. No, sorry, about 10 feet deep.
10, okay.
Should we wait and see where it's going?
Will it get there?
Yeah, how long do you think he's been digging this tunnel? He doesn't seem to be in any kind of a rush either.
Spatially, where are we in relation to?
I'm going to say that your telepathy is magic.
Okay.
So as you start talking, it attracted your magic.
Oh God.
As it looks over to you, you see its neck and head, no facial features, just a slimy and greasy ball of smooth flesh. Its neck seemingly growing from its torso with writhing tubes and ridges pulsating like muscles down to its sternum. Its torso opens with a gaping maw, massive, 15 feet in circumference, fashioned with 2 rows of sharp teeth. It grabs its hammer and immediately rushes over. Initiative roll for all.
I'm sorry.
All right, so Nasu, as you see this creature and start grinding its hammer upon the stone running towards you, what do you do?
Yeah, I run out of the room.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
20 feet.
20 feet.
Unencumbered, yeah.
Yikes.
What are you guys doing, Vivian?
Polymorph.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
That's the end of your turn. Okay, Vivian. What are
Polymorph.
you doing? Polymorph. Wisdom save.
Please fail it. Please. Please.
Okay.
Please fail it. Please fail it. Please fail your wisdom save.
Natural 18. No, sorry, that's a natural 19. 21. Okay, so you.
Cool, so that's the only polymorph I have today.
All right. It is now its turn, and since it detected you, Beam, and you're the only one there.
An 18.
Well, the
God, that was a baller
19?
initiative order.
Shit.
Avery, please
What a
don't
high,
kill
what a
him.
high
Pray
table.
for you, Beam.
What a high
Are you
table
serious?
attack.
No one is near him. Pray for him. You all
What do you mean
left
no one
him
is
to
near
dust.
him? What does that mean?
Where? That was just the initiative order,
Give it
bro.
to me. Fucking
What
do
are you
it.
talking about?
What the fuck? We were supposed to be there so we could get hit
We didn't
instead?
even-
What's
that's what
happening?
you fucking talking about.
26 to hit.
Hits.
No, it doesn't.
Natural 1 for the second attack.
Okay, that's nice.
Okay. So, it into you.
God, this is miserable. He's still rolling.
You take
I prepare fireball.
30 points of bludgeoning damage as it. You are also knocked prone.
Oh my god. I'm gonna stand up. Use half my movement.
Okay.
We're
You
gonna
got this,
fucking
Steve.
smite it.
You got it. You got it.
That is a 25.
Yes, that hits.
We're smiting. Max damage. 12 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
14, 17, 20. God. 22.
So,
And prone. 22 points of damage total.
wow. Okay. Okay, so you. As it slices through at first, nothing happens. The beast just. But then. Into the cut. You see its knee, already bent backwards, go in further. It falls prone forward.
Second attack, just spin around and try to,
With advantage, yeah.
try to hit it again.
Wait, doesn't it need to make a strength save? No, it's automatically prone.
prone.
Yeah, fuck me.
It's a smite, boy.
27.
That hits. Holy moly, mother of God!
7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Alright.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to Misty Step.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
How far?
As far as I can go, 30 feet.
30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Alright, so you're over here.
30, and then I use the rest of my movement to keep
Good idea.
running.
Oh, yeah, so you have 30
So I have
feet.
15
So
left.
you're moving down here. 1, 5, 10, 15, 20.
Just 15, because I use half of mine to stand.
Okay, right there. So that's Euphem's turn.
Uh-huh.
However, you hear coming from down the hall,
Fuck.
Are you joking?
from the direction you're running.
Yes.
And you see, you don't see anything actually, because you don't have any dark vision. You're running in a pitch black hall.
Fuck.
So,
You're adding another fucking thing that killed Clink to this fight?
those are the
We'll
low dogs.
see. Yeah, we'll see.
We're gonna die. Dude.
It is now
Just don't get hit.
Nasu Fims' turn.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I just
So you
dash
had mage armor and shield
40
too, but
feet
you still
out
had
of
26.
the hall following Eupheme.
Alright,
So,
5,
You guys didn't shoot the fucking game.
I did.
Not you. Yeah, not
30,
I tried to.
35,
Dedicate.
yeah.
So we'll say
Okay.
you're out of this right now.
Okay.
Cool, cool, cool.
It's now Vivian's turn.
Cool.
What are you
I'm
doing?
running away. What do you
Alright.
think I'm doing?
So 5,
Oh my god.
20, 25, 30. It's now its turn. It is going to stand.
Great, 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 great. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine.
25. It is going to begin running after you guys. You see it run through. You see it's massive and the squirming tendrils upon its neck. Okay. It can, however, throw its hammer at the nearest person.
Yeah.
So it'll actually throw it at Eupheme.
I don't know why I'm so sorry. I don't know
okay.
why I did that.
25 to hit.
Hits.
Yep.
25.
You take 31 points
I
Uploading.
think I'm unconscious.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so the hammer scrapes upon the wall.
I'm so sorry. Why did I?
As it spins around, the handle hits Eupheem in the neck. He tumbles down the hall. The hammer then skids back to the creature, and he
Doesn't even lose his hammer for a turn.
and that's its turn. Nasu, since you are ahead,
Yeah.
you see the skittering legs of those strange arachnid small pup-looking creatures with the leech-like mouths run up to you. And one is going to attack you. It then attaches to you, and you see as its form begins to pulsate, as it begins to suck your blood from your body. The other one is going to attack you. This one misses as it tries to jump through the darkness. Okay, that's their turn.
Yeah.
It's now your turn.
Yeah.
All right, so you carve into it. You see your own blood spurting out.
I will keep running 20 feet down the hall.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
running as these swing off of you. Okay, Vivian, it is your turn. You look behind you. You see Eupheem on the floor.
Is the?
The creature just peeking out.
But it's not right above Eupheem yet, is it?
No, it had to throw the hammer. It's about 10 feet away.
From Eupheem. I'm gonna run over to Eupheem. I'm gonna try and stabilize him
Okay,
with my healer's kit. And it has 15 feet of melee range, so even if I leave, I'm fucked. I'm staying where I am.
you're staying where you are.
I'm gonna try and hit that bestow curse.
Okay. As it has no need to feed, it is going to attack you.
No need to feed.
Doesn't need to attack him anymore, so he pulls the hammer out.
Sure, I want to cast my bestow curse. So I'll wait. I'll get.
And it walks up. It's going to try to grapple you. 22 hit.
Try to grapple me.
Does an 18 hit?
Shield.
Okay, so you shield that one. The other one does hit. You take 24 points of damage from the single claw. Scratches through you. It picks up its hammer. It is now.
And Vivian's
Eupheem
grappled?
Delionor's what?
And Vivian's grappled?
No, she's not.
Oh, okay.
You successfully blocked the second claw, which kept you from being grappled.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
What are you doing?
Bestow curse.
Bestow curse. Are you 5 feet away from it?
I'm going to. Aren't I? Didn't it just
No,
attack me?
10 feet of movement. 10 feet range with its claws.
This is abysmal. Yes, I'm gonna go.
So you walk up to it. You see its 20-foot lumbering slobber. just
I'm
dripping.
fucking just crying. I just walk up and get splattered and just.
Wisdom save. Natural 19. Plus 2, 21. Sorry about that. So the circle doesn't seem to work.
Okay, I walked up 5 feet.
Yes. You run in away?
Yes.
Okay, so you run 20 feet?
Yes.
Okay, it's gonna whack you.
It's gonna try.
It doesn't hit. So it,
What did it roll?
2
Nice.
plus 10, so.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So you feel the wind of it and you duck down.
That was my last 3rd level spell slot.
Okay, it is now its turn. Seeing you run away, it's gonna walk 5 feet forward, and it's
Oh.
going to, no, wait, sorry, 10 feet.
Yeah. God,
It's gonna
Jesus
try and
Christ.
fly you.
Jesus Christ.
Both hit.
I'm gonna get grappled. That's so fun. I love it. No.
You take 46 points of
I'm
damage
down.
as and then its claws dig into you. It pulls you towards its stomach, and
Oh my God, I just
Bites
got
down.
eaten.
didn't eat you, just bit you in half. As it dripping from your torso, it throws you to the side, and it can see you 240 feet of blind sight. So it It is now Euphem's turn. You are stable though.
That's
The one that's still attached to you is going to do
Mm-hmm.
some damage. 3 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
The one that was originally going to attack Vivian, he needs a soul.
I'm not dead yet.
And you're down. So it's going to roll a d20. Above a 10, it goes for nose. 12.
Okay.
It begins to run back towards you. It only has 30 feet of movement though.
Okay.
It does not reach you.
Okay.
It is now Noxu Fims' turn.
Gonna attack the ones on me.
Yeah?
Yeah. 18.
That hits.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then second attack on
Second
it.
attack.
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't hit. You still running?
Yeah, I'm still running
20 feet,
down the hall.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're still running. Sledgehammer has 120 feet of movement.
Are you serious?
Sorry, 120 feet range. So it runs 30 feet.
To toss
You hear the hammer grind against the stone. You look behind you just as it comes towards you. 21 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. You take 21 points of bludgeoning damage and you are now prone. Is it? You skid across the ground.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Spend half my movement to get out. Attack the one that's on me.
Okay. So you
19.
that hits.
Damage. 7.
So again, you cut that one in half. You no longer have any attached to you.
There's one right in front of me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I run 10 feet away.
10 feet away.
Okay, and then I'll
Let it
turn
go.
around and pistol. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it goes into its leechy maw
Yeah.
and explodes out the back. It is dead.
Max damage, bro.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's my turn.
That is your turn.
Yeah.
You see the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Down the hall.
Yep.
14 to hit.
Nope, does not hit.
All right, so you see the hammer down the hall. It
Uh-huh.
moves 30 feet up though.
Uh-huh.
Grabs the hammer as it moves forward. Okay, it's about 20 feet away from you at this point.
I am running 20 feet down the hall.
Yeah, so you're at the bend now.
Huh?
You're at the bend now.
I'm at
So
the-
you bend in the hall.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my action to dash 40 feet.
40 feet. So
yeah.
you just run as
Yeah.
fast as you can.
Uh-huh.
You burst into the cylindrical room,
Mhm.
the diagonal left hall.
Yes. Do I
Okay.
have?
You don't see the creature anymore.
No.
'cause it's
Do I
around
have
the
any
bend.
more movement as I'm in the room?
No, because you dashed 40 feet. Oh, as you're in the room, I'd say you have 10 feet of movement.
So action surge,
Okay.
dash.
Okay. So you're
Yeah.
going to go 30 feet to
Mhm.
the other hall entrance?
Yes.
Okay, so you run to the other hall entrance. You're not entirely in it, but you are there.
Okay. All right. Then I second wind.
Okay.
20 minutes later.
I would want to try to hide again.
Roll disadvantage, because there's nowhere else to go. You're down the hall.
23.
Okay, so 16 or lower. Okay. 16 perception. So he still walks to the last place that he saw you at.
Wait a minute. You said he needs to roll a 16 or lower?
So he rolled a 10, so 16, so he rolled lower, but he saw you in his blind sight in one place. So he's going to continue to go there to check for you.
Okay. Would I...
Well, so he's just like, he just disappeared. And he's gonna
No,
stop
I
there.
understand, but would I have assumed that I hid well enough on this one.
There is no way to tell. You have a 23 stealth check. That was your last opportunity.
I have one more.
No.
You said there was three cells.
There's 3 sets. You
Yeah.
hid in one.
Oh,
you
you,
hid the
you
other.
counted the
Yes.
first. Okay. All right. Then I stay put.
Stay put.
I'm holding
Right,
that
yeah.
stealth check.
Diamond hands.
I'm in hands.
So you 60 feet away, he's gonna try and perceive you again. 19. Does not see you. 30 feet away from you. Going to try and perceive you. 15. Doesn't see you. Right next to you. You see the hammer poking out into your cell. The last place he saw, he's gonna try to attack. You feel the hammer, the stone above you. He gets another attack. A brick falls. A large bit of stone. I need you to make a dexterity save with disadvantage because you were trying to maintain your stealth.
Shit, dude.
9.
9?
9.
Okay. It's 1d10 damage.
Oh my god, dude, this is ridiculous as fuck. This is a fucking joke. I hate this.
5 or less.
Oh my god.
You have a 50% chance.
Yeah. Better odds than before.
4.
Oh.
As it, as your socket, the second socket, to go loose.
Yeah.
Both your arms as you just lay on the floor. The creature begins to grind its hammer back down the hall. You are out of combat for now.
Holy shit.
My character's dead. I can feel it.
So you begin to down the hall you came from.
Mhm.
You see the grind marks of his hammer. The doorway you saw is now destroyed, rubble littering it. You must definitely climb over it.
Okay.
You eventually make your way to the tunnel entrance that you saw in one of the cells.
Yes.
Look in. It looks like a very roughly dug out tunnel. 20 feet tall, 10 feet wide. Smells like ground stone and bit fingernails. You go slowly for about 10 minutes. You peek out to the right. You see blackness, but the hall appears to have once stopped about 30 feet away from you, but then was crushed in, and a 60 feet wide tunnel was built. The same teeth-like grooves made, and it just goes further than it was originally meant to, down this unnatural tunnel.
Okay.
And then to the left is where you'd assume you came from.
From the top, from the diagonal left tunnel? Yeah. Okay.
You going left?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going down
So
the hallway.
you hear the stone grinding as you hear the hammer. The beast comes back, and you hear it. You wait for about 5 minutes, and then you hear going forward.
Like further down the hall? Yeah.
So you go for another 2 minutes. You see Eupheme just outside the door with a splint upon his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Vivian off to the side, half of her body,
Mm-hmm.
just against the wall.
Okay. I will run up to Vivian.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check to see if she's alive.
Make a medicine check.
I don't do that. Dirty 20.
You feel a pulse.
Okay. Okay. So she's. What, I assume she's stable? Yeah.
She is stable.
Okay.
Half
Half-
my body.
Okay. Can I run over to
You see bits of necromantic energy cauterizing the wounds.
stealth check?
We'll roll a stealth check. Would you roll?
18.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Investigation check.
Okay.
Natural 19.
You find the potion of greater healing in Euphem's bag. The large, bulbous glass jar filled with red viscous fluid.
Okay. Yeah, I will give him the potion.
Okay. So you give Eupheme the potion.
Mhm.
You hear Eupheme, you wake up. With how much?
How
you know,
much HP?
Oh
40
yeah, 44
plus
plus 4.
4.
Yeah. 14. I'm whispering.
Okay.
Yeah. Please heal her.
Cast Cure Wounds on Vivian.
Cure wounds. So you
First level.
gently walk over to her entrail-ridden body, magic just sparking underneath her, keeping her stable.
Can you whisper to myself now?
That's so fucking cool. I was like, how am I gonna be stable when I'm half?
Yeah.
9.
So you watch as half her body, the other half of her body that was across the floor.
Should be stitched together by like vines. That'd be kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
kind of ethereal
So-
vines that kind of spread out. over the
Sure,
ground.
absolutely. So they, you on the floor.
We can go back.
We can go back up. Do you want to? Yeah, I'd rather not be in the hallway with.
Yes.
I'm assuming you guys are linked.
Yes.
No.
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 That's a magic sense.
Good.
Fuck no. Just whisper.
Good.
Let's go back up.
So, we'll go down the hallway.
So you go down the hallway, and you guys are going back up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you go up the spiral stairs, and you make your way out of the dungeons and into the room with the splintered and shattered desk.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do now?
I feel like resting might be beneficial right now.
So you have a short rest.
I wish
Yeah.
it was divination.
Hit points for all.
Song of Rest.
Song of Rest, so
Thank
yeah,
you.
you get 1d6.
Holy shit.
You guys get an extra 3.
Okay.
3 healing.
Just toss some
Okay,
berries
so
up.
you guys rest. What are you guys doing?
When you guys went down, I ended up dashing into the hall on the top right. It's kind of odd. It goes all the way down and then it ends in these awful like cell blocks. Some remains in there, of course, but then it's a dead end. Now there's one room, and in that room is. It looks like where the creature had dug another tunnel, bashed in, and then it came through the other side. That's how I got to you guys. It basically ran around in a circle, it chasing me. I ran.
That's
There's
fair.
no way I was gonna fight that thing on my own.
I should have run. I thought I could curse it. I thought I could stabilize you and curse it so it would stop moving. It didn't work.
You stabilized me?
Yes. When you'd broken your neck, I wanted to make sure that I could. I mean, I wasn't going to try and attack you. It didn't.
But I could have died.
Well, exactly. You could have died.
Vivian
That's
could
why I
have
stabilized you.
Vivian
You
could
could
have
have died.
died.
I did almost die.
Yeah, you were in half.
I thought I could stabilize you and curse it, and then I could still get away.
Are you doing all right, Vivian?
At this point, the amount of times I've almost died, and the amount of times I have died, it's just a matter of how we're going to get past it.
Well, I don't die every day, so thank you. I almost died.
The three of us have to look out for each other down here.
Yeah.
So, obviously that goes without saying.
I feel like we should.
You don't have to, but I appreciate that you do. I honestly do.
I feel like we should explore the diagonal right tunnel and figure out what that last room was. You're right. There might be some sort of mechanism.
I think that would be best to just wait the day out. If we want to go investigate, we can go investigate. The door downstairs was
Right.
locked.
No, I just didn't run into that room. I just kept running down the hallway. I didn't know it'd be dead end.
I was under the impression time was of the essence.
Well,
I have no connection to your friend.
yeah.
I don't even know who this person is. I'm not here for him, I'm here for you two. If you would like to wait, we can. I don't want to go down there. At all. But there are times where you have to just put one foot in front of the other.
I don't know. I'm okay to wait. I'm okay to explore now.
I feel like it's gonna be more productive if we just stick to that hallway. We figure out what's up.
My spell only lasts for a period of time, so if we're going to decide, we need to decide now.
Let's go back down. Stay out of the creature's way. If we hear any movement, we just leave.
Yep. Right about me.
Okay, so you guys are heading back down?
Yes. God, it's awful.
Okay. Where are you guys heading in this room?
Yeah.
Diagonal right.
Diagonal right.
So you head back down that hallway. You see where the hammer skid through most of it and scratches felt this deep into the stone. You turn the bend and you see Vivian. You see further down. You see 3 rooms on the left. You walk past these 3 rooms. You see the would-be windows looking into each of them. And then to the right, you see a new door that Nasu is not. That's Nasu said that he did not go into. So you walk into yet another place of destruction, feeling nauseous almost immediately.
I mean, I'm not gonna just let
Yeah.
it dark.
Okay.
I assume I'm just like
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Hold on to my tail.
I just want to make sure you have
You
something
see
that
the
is
remnants
concerned.
of stone bookshelves to your left, long smashed into bits and burning with arcane embers. The ground is scorched, and ooze quivers upon the cracks in the stone. No fungus or other forms of life grow here, so the gouges in the stone are quite visible where the char lay upon the stone. If stone, or anything that could survive an onslaught of this nature, it is difficult to determine exactly what this room once was, seeing only the bookshelves to your left and nothing much else, just the remnants of strong magics and the marks of those monsters from long ago. Make an investigation check. So you look at the back and you see a metal safe. Open.
Oh, thank God.
Yes. Looking inside, it looks entirely empty. However, with a 19 investigation check, you see the back. Looks a bit odd, not entirely uniform.
Can I try and remove it?
So you, as air
Ooh,
sucks in.
Airlock.
You do find.
Hey!
Holy shit, that's a lot of paper.
This.
It's really thick. Oh, it is a lot of paper, just kidding. The path to our goddess, the barrier of divinity. That's a transmutation
Some
circle.
fuck shit, bro. Oh man. That's about a bitch. That's crazy.
The barrier of divinity is not a really heartening thing to see on the I
The
would.
barrier is good.
A few moments later.
So now we know why they were making these monsters. Trying to make a demigod.
They're saying in this that they have a hard time contacting Lolth. The drow I traveled with for a very long time was the champion of Lolth, and he spoke to her quite often.
Well, did he actually? Like Clink speaks to his god?
More directly. I think they actually spoke.
That's terrifying.
I wonder if Lolth was trying to get them to breach the divine barrier so that the Titanic Cascade could rove this mortal plane like they did.
Well, what's the makeup of the Titanic Cascade?
I don't even know what that is.
It's, I don't know. It's a collection of Titanic deities, evil deities. From the book that I read, I believe Dremlo, Lord of Dreams and Nightmares. I don't think Draugr is.
Dremel is just the god of nightmares.
Ah, Dremlo, God of Nightmares. Cthulhu,
God of dreams, the mind, the depths.
Balanzar, Lolth, Persephone.
Lolth's the Titan.
Lolth is not a titan, and neither is Persephone.
Oh,
Let's one of these rooms on the left here. I didn't check, and we should check them all again because I was in quite a rush when we went in and out. See if there's something to help us with the door. Never mind.
do we want to try the bottom right?
You don't want to look in the middle of the tunnel first.
Um,
Why? What if we
What?
did?
How long has it been?
It's like 3.
How long has it been since we came down? It's like
Oh, an hour.
Yeah. What if we went in, took a look, and then we kept and we checked the other end of the hallway, and then if it's another dead end like that one is, then we go back and we check the bottom right.
okay.
That's fine.
You make your way down the hall and through the tunnel. You pop out the same area that Nasu did. You look to your right. You see a wider, more rough tunnel going further in.
Wider, more rough, as in similar to the tunnel we just came through?
Larger.
Do we hear any sounds?
From the left, you hear.
Okay, you don't have to make the sound again. I have a visceral response to it right now.
Still digging.
What the fuck, dude?
What the
Keep
fuck?
moving.
Okay, so
dude?
we're moving still.
To the right?
Yeah.
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 Follow it.
So you walk.
I would like to be trying to hear for and listen
You
for
already
things.
hear the gurgling sound you originally heard coming from this area. Remember, that's not the same gurgling sound.
It's not. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's that? What did we
Something
hear?
we've heard before?
That's something we heard before?
Remember when you and I went down this hallway initially, and we heard that?
Oh, that's not the same thing.
Yep. You guys continuing?
Yeah, I'll continue.
Okay.
Are you a fucking idiot?
Fine. You want to go to the bottom right?
You want to go down and
fight something else and then potentially have to fight two things at once and then die again? That sounds like a good plan to you? If it sounds like a good
Oh
plan
my
to you,
God.
by all means.
We don't know that we're gonna be fighting anything at the end of that room.
I think everything we've heard make a gurgling sound, we've had to fight.
I don't think so. But do you remember every gurgling
We're
sound
going
you've heard
back.
in your life?
We're going back. This
Alright.
bickering is just fucking obnoxious at this point.
Okay, so you guys are going back. You guys
Please
going back into the
tell me
tunnel?
which direction
Yes.
is back.
Yeah.
Okay.
We go back into the tunnel and then back down the left hallway.
The right.
The right hallway. Yeah.
So you eventually make your way back into the large cylindrical slanted room. You decide now to go down the hall directly right. You immediately smell rot and an abundance of fungus coming from down the hall, mixed with the smell of burnt hair and pus. The hall's floor is littered and scraped, though they appear strange, these scrapes. More broad than usual than the typical gouges you've seen thus far, though at this point you recognize them as the hammer.
Cool.
The hall is straight for the most part, curving to the left only very slightly. You begin to hear strange noises coming from down the hall, like soil churning, and what could be slight moans and gurgles. As you gather closer,
Nope.
you hear
No.
familiar sounds
No.
of bone clanking against one another and a sloughing sound. The fruit being pulverized. You see a space begin to open out in front of you. The hall simply getting wider, yet rougher along the wall. Eventually, your dark vision can see inside. Horror. You see a pit of some sort dug into the stone at the center of this large area, and a sloped, greasy incline at the periphery, where you see the bones of those who clawed their way out, only to die upon the edges, along with a single one of those arachnid-like creatures that appears to have sensed you, crawling towards you with only two of its strange protruding limbs, the others cracked off, and the two it's using worn down to nubs. The creature drags its head under its torso, and you hear its skull grinding against the stone. You see now that its legs have long turned to shriveled sacks of leathery flesh carrying some sort of fluid within their sack-like forms. As that crawls in the far corner, you look into the pit now, seeing piles upon piles of bones, along with what look to be various orcs, goblins, and Erlendi that appear to be somewhere between life and death. You see an orc laying face up upon the bones, many of them piercing its flesh, which appears to bubble and writhe violently like boiling water. Its skin oozes, and its face appears to be in a constant state of agony and fear, tusks grown into its eyes from a millennia in this pit. Within the orc's gaping maw, you see gurgling within a very light blue and luminescent green that glows gently within its mouth, seemingly trying to escape. You see an Erlendish man, half of its body missing lengthwise, and strange centipede-like limbs stretching out from the gore that remains of the left side of his body. The insect-like legs twitch incessantly, causing him to grind upon the stones beneath him, his arms and legs broken in hundreds of places. His leg crammed up towards his back and twisting as he turns like an empty glove. This half of his face that remains humanoid looks half-lidded and dead, though from his mouth you hear a slight moaning. Pain-filled, but without the strength to bellow out. One can only imagine what sounds they made as this first began thousands of years ago. The last remaining live person you see is another Erlendish man, spinning his head around in the corner like a tetherball, his spine cracking around as the head whirls in the air. Again, his spine protruding from his neck, whipping around. You see sinews and vein-like pustulating growths upon his spine, much like that of the creatures you've seen. You hear his head slam into the stone with a wet thud every once in a while, shaking the momentum and hitting the bone underneath him, only to recorrect rather quickly. His arms and legs have been absorbed into the stone, nothing but a deep purple fungus growing like a cancer and stretching slowly upwards. Looking to his torso, it looks to gurgle and quiver slightly, as if many worms crawled underneath its form. And the orc just sits there.
There's no other entrance to this room?
No. This looks like discarded remains.
How loud is Firebolt?
Into the head of the orc as it, the mouth. And you see the souls soak into the ground.
Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Why not kill them? Why just leave him here?
I feel like somebody forgot about him.
Or they all died
Yeah.
because they were killed by their own creations and couldn't maintain anymore.
Right. I'll go for the one that's the half centipede.
Make an attack roll.
Yeah. 19.
It, from the centipede side, you just see it ooze out the side.
There was 4 total or 3 total?
3 that you see that are alive, the rest are bones.
Right.
You can see.
And I'll go for the guy that's headbanging.
Yeah, okay.
30, 20.
I said spinning. The bones.
Glad that's done.
They wouldn't have fit in anything to open that door in here. Don't you think?
What are you guys doing?
Well, are we gonna check the end of the other hallway now?
Fine.
Alright.
What other hallway? I thought this was the last one.
No, remember the end of the top right hallway that we went, top left hallway that we went through the top right around through the tunnel, yeah?
okay.
Yeah. We heard the same sound.
Okay.
Alright, quickly.
You guys head
Okay.
back over there.
Right.
And that's where we're gonna end it.
Woo!
What a session.